welcome to Hold the Truth Hostage, where we ask a very simple question. If the truth was so important, we would hold the truth hostage. Now, I've watched a lot of videos from Yellow Flash, Just Some Guy, Sean James, and Diversity in Comics with the whole SJW Marvel, all that issue that's going on. The biggest problem a lot of these YouTubers don't understand is that Marvel is now just that, a branch of Disney. Disney owns Marvel. And if you look at Disney's history, Disney was not a company known for publishing its own comics. In fact, Disney would license them out to Boom, IDW, and so on. Disney would license out its properties to be made into comics, not directly by Disney. Disney would just license them out. And that's what's going on with Marvel. Right now, Marvel is now just that, a branch of Disney, an animation first, film first company. And that's why the properties are so bad. Disney doesn't know how to manage a comic book company. And Disney, quite frankly, doesn't really care. They're making the bulk of their money from the films and animated series and so on. So what's happening to Marvel is really, it's at its end. What's going to happen to Marvel is that as a comic company, that Disney will be licensing out the property. As in, other companies will be making the comics soon. Because as it stands with all SJW, lack of quality control, that the comics side of Marvel is at an end. You know, it's on its deathbed. Now, a lot of people say, well, you know, diversity ruined Marvel, this and that. No, diversity didn't ruin Marvel. It's the approach to obtaining diversity that ruined Marvel. Right now, Marvel's doing a lot of gender swapping, race swapping. You know, turn Captain America to black. You know, turn Falcon into Captain America instead of now Falcon is the lead. You know, he's just Falcon. He's his own guy. They gender swap, you know, turn Iron Man to Iron Heart. You know, all these gender swapping things. And the biggest problem with that is they're saying minority characters only have a purpose if they take the previous mantle from an already established character. Then you have all the people watching the films having a disconnect with these minority characters or gender swapped characters where it doesn't connect. It doesn't make any sense. If Marvel really wanted diversity and new material, what they would do, they would start reaching out to creators of a diverse background. Let's say a black creator who created a successful comic under their own brand, and Marvel would agree to publish and distribute their comics. Now Marvel would have the solution to its diversity. Right now, what you have with all this SJW, leftists, and all this stuff is false and forced diversity. What they're basically doing is this tactic is really simple. Your diverse characters only matter and have a purpose if they take the previous mantle of an already established, be it Caucasian character or whatever. It has to be a previously established character, and they'll switch the gender and so on. That's what's killing the Marvel brand, and even DC at you know, on a less bigger scale. But a lot of these companies are pushing a false diverse incentive. For example, DC had a alternative universe with a black Superman and a black Robin. If you really want diversity, what you do is you hire and start publishing, you know, creations by independent you know, creators of a diverse background, instead of force feeding a previously Caucasian character, which it isn't bad that the character was Caucasian or nothing. It's just bad that you leave a bad taste in people's mouths when you say, if you're, let's say, a black American, that your character only matters if he's a black version of Thor, a black version of Spider-Man, instead of we're looking for new ideas from you. Right now, Marvel is dead. Let's just agree, as a comic company, it's finished. And, what's going to happen is that Disney will eventually just start licensing out Marvel Comics, as in other people will license it out and start publishing, because Disney only cares about the films and the animation. That's it. So that's what's happening right now. And the American comics industry's been in trouble for over 40 years. I'll be making a new video soon comparing manga industry to the comic book industry in America. Because in reality, the manga industry is a reflection of what the American industry could have been. Not just the comic industry for just superheroes and so on. It's for everything, sports, all that. That's what the American industry used to be. In the 40s, you had drama comic books, westerns, cop dramas, noir. You had it all. That the big publishers published it all. But I'll touch bases on that later. All I'm saying is that Marvel, as a comic book, publisher, is just that. It's a branch of Disney now. And Disney only cares about the films. And let's be honest, Disney has over 80 years of history to reference for their future films. They're not going to need the comic side for a long time. The biggest problem they'll run into is that you can't test new material as easily and as cost effective as comics. So all I can say is that Marvel is just that, a branch of Disney. And all the SJW politics and all that in the industry, I'd say just let it die, let it burn, and from the ashes, a new breed of creators and publishers will rise. So I'd rather say that Marvel is being licensed than vomiting out comics from an SJW leftist and damn right, in my opinion, a dictatorish approach, because the SJW community isn't really about diversity. It's about this. I'll give you the example. You blacks, other sexual preferences only matter if we push the agenda of your brand instead of allowing you to do it yourself. That's the whole motive behind the SJW movement. It's not really about representing diversity or other genders. It's really about, dictating what they mean. That's what the SJW movement is about. I'll touch bases more later. All right, thank you.